Good afternoon, Andrew Cartwell, born in 1989, Christian, Old and New Testaments. I was living in Evelyn Street, Slacks Creek, with my mum. My mum is 17 years older than me. She has a mother called Marjorie Holes. She was living a couple of streets up in Slacks Creek, 16 Michael Street. She had a stepdad that was a screw, that was a prison officer. His name is Trevor Holes. My nana and her daughter is my auntie. Her daughter is blood and flesh. She is born in 1988. She is 1 year older than me. When it comes to my auntie Katie and my nana, she used to ride to Evelyn Street. She was going to grade 1 Maple Park Primary School. I was going to prep school in Maple Park. My nana used to ride over with my auntie Katie and drop me off to prep school and then drop Katie off to grade 1. Also, Katie went to grade 2 Maple Park Primary School and I went to grade 1 Maple Park Primary School. We were only children, little children. Children would do what children do. But I believe back in the day I was one of the best children around. I was very soft, I was very blank space, I was very gentle, I was a very good listener. And I always was a good listener. But people pushed me over and pushed me around because they wanted assets. They were selfish. The difference between me and other people, I am selfish too. I like to have lots of money and lots of assets as well. I have worked hard. There was times when my family didn't have a job and I was working to support them when I was 14 and 9 months down at Jimboomba. With my auntie Katie, she was under a brown doona, first bedroom on the right hand side. She pulled her pants down and I pulled my pants down after her. Being little kids, opposites attract, but I knew right from wrong. Because I believe that I've been here before and I'm an Old Testament, I'm an old soul. But there is new assets and there's new things being reborn and coming back to this lifetime. My nana, Marjorie Holes, came in the bedroom, she ripped the doona off us and she took her daughter, my auntie Katie, born in 1988, and I followed her, being born in 1989, I followed them out to the dining room. Katie Holes, my auntie, was running around the table. Marjorie, my nana, was chasing her around the table to belt her bottom. Her father, being a prison officer, a screw, he owned that house at 16 Michael Street. He bought that house. And then he became working at Toll IPEC, and so did his son, Robbie Trevor Holes, end up getting a job at Toll IPEC. And so did the stepson, Terry Allen. Trevor Holes ended up buying another house. He ended up having a house in Macleay Island, which was our holiday home, 9 Florence Street, Boronia Heights, Macleay Island. He ended up giving that to his stepdaughter to allow his stepdaughter to pay it off. And then Trevor Holes bought another house, a block of land. He built the house at Victoria Drive with a spa bath, chandeliers. He put a fireplace in the lounge room. He put some sheds, put some stables, and he bought his daughter some horses. And he also did a big entertainment area. And Michael Peter Spackman got married to Leanne Basella Allen at that property out the front, and they hired the hall at Jimboomba before Jimboomba Woolworths service station and Woolworths was getting built back in the 90s. At that place, my auntie Katie said, let's build a cubby house. We had horses to ride, we had lots of pens and pencils. Even at 16 Michael Street, we had a green dinosaur, which was her brother's, to play with, an above-ground small swimming pool, and we had a couple of toys to play with. And we also used the chairs and stuff like that to make cars. And she drew a picture of a car track at 16 Michael Street. Let's go back to grade 1 and grade 2. Now we'll go back to the house that Trevor built when he quit his job for being a prison officer and became working for Toll IPEC and built another house. And he had a house on 9 Florence Street in Macleay Island. When it came to my auntie Katie, we built a cubby house with 2 windows and a door. and we're playing with newborn babies. Katie pulled her pants down again, showed me her vagina. And I was still in primary school, we were still young, and then I showed her my penis. But I knew right from wrong. We never touched each other. And then we used to play with curl our eyelashes and stuff like that. Watch Mary Poppins and watch TV, do skipping, play cricket, ride the horses, write down songs. And then Marjorie, my nana, busted me. She smacked my bottom. Said, as long as if you don't pull your pants down after my daughter pulling her pants down ever again, you're allowed to come back here and you're still allowed to stay here. I said, okay. And then Trevor Holes ended up buying a house at 199 Mount Lindsay Highway, Mount Lindsay Highway, Jimboomba. I bought an XF Falcon. I was getting molested by Kurt Walter Willis at this time. My mother did explain to her children, if her children molest people or sexually abuse people with harm, violence and force, if her children rape women or rape girls, she said they're not allowed at her house. She'll kick them out because she doesn't accept. And then 199 Mount Lindsay Highway, Katie came up to the entertainment area and I was looking at the in-ground swimming pool. She pulled her pants down again. And then she said, feel how clean shaved and how smooth my vagina is. So I did. I ran one finger across, but I knew right from wrong and I trusted myself. I had faith in myself. And in the in-ground swimming pool, she swam up to me. I was sitting on the step and she dry humped me. Said, this is what sex feels like. And then she laid on a towel, face down, and she was tanning. At this place, Robbie Trevor Holes was working for a smoke company and also worked for Toll IPEC and also was painting cars. And I was working for TBM Trolleys. Now we're going to rewind back time when we're living on Macleay Island. My parents were living on Macleay Island. At Kurt Walter Willis's house, Errol Avenue, Kingston, first bedroom on the left, my sister, my mum's daughter, she dry humped me. I guided her. I laid there with my eyes closed and I was dumbfounded for a little while. In the bedroom, Stephen Allen, Jason Spackman, Jason Allen, Shannon Lane, Shannon Allen. My brothers were laying in the same bed. I was laying on the edge of the bed close to the door. And I laid there with my eyes closed for a little while with my sister dry humping me. And then I opened my eyes and I told her to please get off. So surely after this she knew right from wrong because I told her to get off. Can you get off? We are brother and sister. And then after that, let's fast forward back to 199 Mount Lindsay Highway, my grandparents' place. In the dining room, James Onosky was there, Robbie Trevor Holes was there, Samantha Ridgway was there, Marjorie Trevor Holes, Auntie Katie Holes, Damien, Katie Holes' boyfriend, and Rebecca was laying beside me. She laid down beside me and started kissing me after that. And I got up and walked away. But I did lay there with my eyes closed for about 60 seconds, dumbfounded again, like, what's going on? Why is she kissing me? Maybe it's my personality, maybe it's my look. I don't know if she attacked Steve and Jason and Shannon in that way because they like to have secrets. And then Shannon and Stephen and Jason will go, I don't want nothing to do with you anymore, Andrew. But they have had Queensland Police at my front door. Queensland Police at my front door, knocked on my front door, said they can't do nothing about this because all of this money and all of this stuff is my father's. When it comes to my father. If it wasn't for my father, they would have no money. And I can't afford to pay them with the bill exchange, and I can't afford to pay them with the bank account before they're born. So some of them have gone their own way, and some of them are independent and found their own job. When it comes to Queensland Police, I have it on camera on my Facebook. I said, you have a warrant under your arrest, you're on bail until court of law because of prostitution in Queensland for disrespecting the Queen Elizabeth. Because the Queen Elizabeth is in London, UK, and my nana is a 93-year-old lady that is still alive, and she used to live in London with the Queen. She is the same age of the Queen, and it disrespects our son, our nephew, our daughter, our auntie, our niece, our cousin, and our mother and our father. And Queensland Police casually said, "This is shared accommodation, Andrew. Learn to get along." And then they walked off after I got them on camera, and I jumped back in their vehicle and drove off. The part I don't understand when it comes to my brothers is I am playing very broke. I'm pretending I'm very broke. When it comes to my brothers and when it comes to my sisters, they will take my car, they will take my wallet, they'll take my money, and I will go casual and nice and calm, going, I am selfish, they are selfish. But they are more selfish in the way, how do we take down our big brother? Where I will get upset, I will get hurt if my big brother has more money and more assets and more success, even though their big brother has worked harder than them from 14 and 9 months with lots of Crown Witness. Reason why I have so much Crown Witness, yes, I haven't had a job since 2015, but my father is self-employed, and I have a massive bill exchange, like Zach Bleasing had a bill exchange and a bank account before he was born and after his father passed away. And when it comes to his grandparents, all Jimboomba Primary School will teach you sex ed. All my schools and everything is located no more than 45 minutes away. All of my jobs I've had, one of them will take you about 1 hour and 20 minutes. The rest of them are 45 minutes away from my house. Every single job on that contract and written agreement that I posted on Facebook is located in Queensland and is only 45 minutes away. And my father, who is self-employed, about 1 hour and 10 minutes away. All I'm just telling you is I live in the same house as the girl that dry humped me. So when it comes to Labor, do I forgive her? When it comes to Old and New Testaments. With Katie Holes, when it comes to Labor, do I forgive her? When it comes to Old and New Testament. And I don't understand why people get cranky and their parents get upset and cranky for explaining. And I don't understand why other families will attack. Please treat ladies with respect. Please don't attack them. Be nice and soft and gentle with them. I know there's so many rough people out there because I've bumped into them and I ran into them and I've spoken to. Please respect our families. Please respect all families. Please even respect your neighbours. And help me. So far we have closed down 12 brothels because they have gone broke in Queensland. I'd like to close down the rest. Because I don't want my sisters, my aunties, or your daughters, not even your daughters, working down there. Because there are so many jobs out there. There is jobs everywhere. You can earn 1.8 million in 70 years working for Jimboomba Woolworths, and then you can travel the world for 5 years and then sit in a wheelchair for the rest of your life and retire, use your electric scooter and relax. But working at Woolworths you can earn 1.8 million in your lifetime, 400 times 52 times 70. That's only part-time casual work. So you have a lot of time to do your housework, a lot of time to watch your TV, a lot of time for your odd massage, and a lot of time to lay in your bed. And you can live to old age. The world is not overpopulated. There's only 25 million people in Australia. There is so much land. China, there's 1 billion people, 1 million people, where there's a lot of people in China. United States of America, there is a lot of land. There's only 280 million people. So it's not as bad as they make out. All they need to do, all the people need to do is be more strict when it comes to, let's wash our hands in the toilet, and then we re-wash our hands with Dettol in our kitchen. So we wash our hands before we wash our hands in the kitchen. We dry our hands, and also we put on gloves, and we wear a mask to do our food, so when we cough and when we sneeze it doesn't go on our food. And we use a hair net so our hair doesn't fall out and we're not picking hair out of our food, in between our teeth. I wish I was the leader, and I wish I was the president in that way when it comes to our kitchens and when it comes to our restaurants, and make sure we got clean benches, clean kitchens, gloves, wash our hands 2 times when we cough and sneeze. It goes inside the mask, not on our food. And we're not picking hair out in between our teeth when we're eating our food. So everything is nice and clean. When it comes to men, yes, the odd man has made things from scratch with buying steel and buying wheels and buying tyres or buying fiberglass and buying resin or buying wood. And then there's the man that's the seed that plants the tree. And then there's the man that's the seed that's an underground miner. There is so many elves and so many helping hands. I have worked at plenty of jobs and there's so many helping hands and so many men working for those jobs. I don't understand why they get cranky and why they get angry. They just need to learn to appreciate more than others. They need to learn to appreciate. Like, wow, look at that cupboard, look at that changing table. There was a lot of men that helped build that, which made the job so much easier. It made the job so much easier. They had a lot of spare time, a lot of conversation, and a lot of kickback at work. When it comes to building the Clam 7, building the tunnels to the airport, even at a cement company, loading it onto the trucks to take it to the suburb to build the tunnels and to build the bridges. Even when it comes to vehicles, when it comes to a motor vehicle in China, building the speakers, they had a lot of conversation, a lot of time to kick back, and a lot of, let's go out for lunch. Like the vehicles, like when they're making the vehicles at the dealership. Like the fiberglass boats and your houses, even making your houses, even the people cutting the wood and cutting the trees, tree loppers, all that stuff, and plastics, all that stuff is so easy. That's why I don't understand why there's anger. It's time that everyone gets along and everyone be less selfish. There's plenty for everyone. And people love to work. That's why I don't... When it comes to sexual activities, Jamboomba Primary School will teach you about sex ed. And read my written agreement. Living in the same house as my sister. And also I'd like to get a hold of Katie to sit down with them both to have a conversation. Nice and casual. And if they want to complain, or I'm not gay, I'm not going to lie to a man to make out I'm a better man than another man. And I don't understand why girls lie to girls to make out they're better than other girls. Because with all due respect, all girls are the same. They get a little bit nervous, a little bit scared. And the girls that are comfortable with the boy and get to know the boy, they'll just pull their pants down. Especially a New Testament. A New Testament female that's comfortable, speaks with the boy, is really warm and comfortable and soft and gentle, and the boy is soft and gentle and warm and caring and loving. And they speak a lot of conversation and they're comfortable with each other. That's when the girl in New Testament, when it comes to New Testament, will pull their pants down for the boy. Some men like to act like I'm a big tough man and they show off testosterone. But that's the type of man that doesn't have a sister. That's the type of man that was brought up with their father. They weren't brought up with their mother and they didn't have any sisters. That's why they don't understand. The only way they get the girl is that type of man with testosterone brought up with the father with no sisters, and they think they've got to act all testosterone and tough and angry. They're the type of man that will push the girl to the bed and rip her undies off to have sex. And then there's men out there that I've heard or that will line up for a girl at a party, get her drunk, and then they go home and they are very hurt with themselves. And they cry to themselves when it comes to their mother. And when it comes to their mother, like, I can't believe what I did to a girl like their mother. When it comes to Old and New Testaments, please note, let's not forgive that type of boy, because that's harm and violence and force. I have never been violent and never harmed a girl because of Mr. Begley Jamboomba Primary School. When it comes to all of the females, if they said stop 2 times or 1 time, I have stopped. Even ask Grace Emily Rosebush. When it comes to other girls, they have forced me to sleep with them. When it comes to Old Testaments, New Testaments, you got to be careful, that sort of thing. All the best wishes. I hope all your dreams come true. Keep safe. Take care. I like this Bible. It is awesome. I hope they teach you like back in the day when it comes to primary school. I love school. School is fun. Cooking is fun. Sports is fun. Work is fun. There's only a small amount of cleaning. Don't get intimidated with sweeping floors, cleaning bathrooms, cleaning restaurants. I've done that stuff too. Pushing trolleys, it's awesome. Jobs are awesome. Working is working. Working is working. Alright, take care, all the best wishes, keep safe. All I'm trying to let you know is I want to match the contract and written agreement that I've had. Please note, also want to let you know, is I don't understand why did Queensland Police block me on Facebook. I have sent them a written agreement and a contract, and I put a warrant under their arrest and I put them on bail until court of law, and I don't understand why they blocked me on Facebook. And also, I don't understand why men get upset, and I hope men don't get upset. I've worked with a bunch of men, like my brother Shannon, he works with 350 men. I don't understand why he gets a little bit cranky, why he says I want nothing to do with you and stuff like that. I've worked with 30 men down at Quixel. When I'm at a school, I had Simon Bottomley tease me, so out of 350 students, that was only that one school. Other than Jimboomba Primary School, there was another kid that teased me, which is only one kid. That was Reese Otbrook. There was only another kid that teased me, which was John Reese. John Reese teased me when it come to a big crowd, but John Reese never had a conversation with me. Simon Bottomley never had a conversation with me. They never got to know me. They never had a conversation with me. They would only judge with what people were saying around me, even though those people around me weren't having a conversation with me. At work, Quixel, there was only one man that teased me. Two men. There was two men. One was Justin, that drove an FG Falcon, and he was driving a turbo diesel. And another one, it was a new worker. His call was Jason at Quixel. So I strongly believe if I go working at a power station, or if I go working with 350 men on site, I strongly believe if worst comes to worst, there's only going to be about 3 or 4 men out of 350 men that might pick on me. I don't understand why, and I hope there's no men that pick on me, and I hope there's no men that tease me, because I am a top person. I'm a beautiful spirit, I'm a beautiful soul, and I'm a very romantic man. It was always one last wife, one last kiss, one last love. I have never said those words to a girl. The reason why I've never said one last wife, one last kiss, one last love, and the reason why I've never given a white rose to a girl, is because a white rose is for your wife. I've only given red roses, and the only reason why I give them red roses is because it's not special like a white rose, because it's not your wife. Red rose is only love. It's only love and meaning of love. I have never ever been in a relationship. I have never been in a relationship and cheated on a girl because I'm not a slut. I'm not a slut. If I went to have sex with someone else, I've always made sure they have split up with their ex-boyfriend, and their words and their conversation was they are not with their ex-boyfriend. And when it comes to me, I wasn't with my ex-girlfriend if I slept with someone else, because I have a heart. I am loyal about loyalty. I have a heart. I'm a man, and I'm not a slut. The best thing to do is to get to know someone. When you move into a new relationship, make sure they're not in another relationship. Get to know them for 6 or 7 months. You know, if you get along with each other and build a bond in a relationship over 2 years and not have sex, well bloody done. Well done. And then you go get an engagement ring if she hasn't cheated on you without having sex for 2 years, which is so easy to do. I haven't had sex for 2 years. I haven't had sex for 2 years. Today I haven't had sex for 2 years. And it's so easy not to have sex for 2 years. You know, so you can be in a relationship, get to know someone, and it's so easy not to have sex for, I could go for another 10 years without sex, or another 20 years. I could go without sex for the rest of my life. You know, the best romantic way to do it is do a clean health check, or if you got a positive health check, make sure you let her know and test each other so you both are honest to each other. You want honesty when it comes to loyalty, when it comes to love, and when it comes to a relationship. And with the sex, have sex 12 months or 2 years later, you have built a bond, you have built a house, you have built the assets, and you have done a savings plan. You have struggled to save to become what you are. And then have sex on your honeymoon after your wedding. Make it romantic. I love you, Peter John Welt, Claire's Car Care. Please note I am living at my mum's house with my sister Rebecca. I love you, Mum, and I love my sisters. I love my family. I love my family more than them. They don't. The only person that loves me is myself. The only person that loves me is myself. The only person that respects me is myself, which brings you respect. I've had boys be honest to me and respect me, and said, Andy, we got an issue and we got a problem when it comes to this girl. Don't be in a relationship with this girl because she needs to grow up and she needs to be mature and she needs to sit her boyfriend down and she needs to tell her boyfriend what is wrong with her and what to do and where to go from there, so she can find the same connection and the same romantic man as what she is. One last looking in the mirror, what's he see? A big-hearted gentleman with lots of hope and respect. In the end, I know he will always be with me. Old and New Testament. Take me to the paradise city where the girls are pretty. That's when you get slapped in the face. That's when you get slapped in the face, because girls they like to feel like they're the only girl in the world. They don't like to they don't like their boyfriend perving on other girls. Take care. All the best wishes. I hope you men. Can you please note another thing? Don't get upset with money problems. Speak to your debt collector. Speak to your real estate.